You're watching The Mic Check, on every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Mic Check. It's been 2 very long weeks. We haven't been back, and we are back. Anyway, tonight we have an Eggo waffle script. Now, this is a very interesting script because the commercial itself is interspersed with a bit of music in between 2 of the lines. So as far as gapping things out, I think it's between part of a complete delicious breakfast and you can create a million ways to waffle. There's a song. But for us who would be, quote, auditioning for this and or doing the spot, we don't got none of that. But we got to make it work like it has that. So that's part of this. That's why it's energetic, upbeat, and happy, but not over the top, as the spec says. Oh, yeah, and keeping the vocal tone at a conversational level and being energetic and upbeat at the same time without going into the, one of those car salesman kind of things. Let's see if we can pull this off tonight.
Hey,
so anyway, yes.
Is the text backwards? Because it calls it 2 different things in there. Homestyle Eggo or Eggo Homestyle?
Nope, that's the way they did it.
Okay.
It's really weird.
Now, to get into the analysis early, I think these are just one-liners they're doing for like pre-roll ads or something. And so you're essentially doing 4 different spots, one line.
Yeah. I mean, this is all wrapped up into one 30-second ad. But, of course, the voice actor doesn't have the full 30 seconds to fill. They're just filling the spots before and after the music, which has somebody singing a song based on homestyle Eggo waffles. So anyway, there you go. I believe Dan said he was going to volunteer to go first. So take it away, Dan.
How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? I'm just going to throw her into the fire. Come on, Miranda.
Hi, Richard.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Janet.
Okay, should I go?
Nathan.
Yes.
Mute
away.
Janet.
Hello,
That's called pulling a Janet.
Mute up, Janet.
What? Hey,
Okay.
you know what?
Mute.
Can you
Hit
hear
your
me?
mute button. Yeah, you're not muted.
God damn it.
Yeah,
Oh, am I supposed to be
she'll
muted?
curse. Stay unmuted and
Yeah,
talk through your entire read.
It's Miranda's turn right now to read, so everybody else go ahead and mute up.
I'm sorry. I mute up.
Okay. All right, now I'm going. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? Okay. I'll do Richard.
I forgot. How do you eat your Eggo? How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? Russ?
How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? Patrick.
You're trying to do 3 things at once. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo? How do you eat your, oh boy. How do you eat your, oh, this is killing me. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? Michael.
It's funny that this is a waffle script because they seem to be waffling between how they want us to present it. All right. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? All right, Devin, show us how it's done.
How do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle? Janet, are you going to play?
Okay, now it's an appropriate time for you to unmute, Janet. Go for it.
All right. And you can hear me, right? Okay.
You may want to turn your gain up just a little bit more. It's kind of quiet.
Damn. Is that better?
Yes, there you go. Go for
Hi,
it.
Janet.
Hi. Somebody say hi. All right, hold on. Let's see, energetic, upbeat, and happy. Okay, here we go. And conversational. Jesus Christ. How do you eat your home-style egg waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Different ways to waffle. How do you eat your egg? How do you eat your egg home? How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? All right, who's next? Michael. Oh, you did it. Okay. Russ did it. Richard did it. Jake.
Hey, Nathan, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Mine is part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You know, you can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Nathan.
How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to eat a waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Yeah,
I'm glad I wasn't the
Rob.
only one.
There we go. Yeah, it messed me up, didn't it? And I'm the one that copied this piece of copy. Darn.
Okay, so
Rob.
my volume.
We can hear you, but we can hear you, but you definitely want to turn it up.
Yeah, just adjust it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little better?
Yeah, go for it. Just go for it.
Okay. How do you eat home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Okay, so I believe that's everybody, right? I don't want to skip anybody. I've done that in the past. It's terrible. Okay. So now that we're done waffling through this script, let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So one of the things that I do want to point out about this script is the target audience, because you got to think who's Eggo Waffle sort of being targeted for, and I'm not just talking about Stranger Things fans. Like, who are the actual, like, you know, the target demographic for Eggo Waffles?
Teens, actually.
Teens?
Kids?
Yep.
Kids, teens?
Yeah, kids.
Okay.
Probably more,
those kids
though.
that can't
It
find
could
the
be people on the
top
go
ramen?
also.
Mother.
Families. The answer's families.
Yeah. I mean, I can't
It's not necessarily-
picture this running on
College
Nickelodeon
kids
and
that
Cartoon
can't find the
Network a
top ramen.
lot.
The kind of people who buy Top Ramen, I like that.
College students.
No, Eggo's too expensive. You can buy the store brand.
I don't know, if you're living off of Top Ramen, Eggo seems kind of like a little bit of a splurge for that week, you know? I got a couple more bucks. We'll get some Eggo waffles this week.
Living high on the hog.
But generally, I guess historically speaking, if we look at Eggo commercials in the past, you'll notice that a lot of them are really focused in on more of the younger audience. So yeah, it gives you that whole the direction here is a little bit all over the place. Energetic, upbeat, and happy, but not over the top. Also keep vocal tone at a standard conversational level. So let's go ahead and break that down to some simpler words. I think I think we can cut out quite a bit of that and just keep upbeat. I think upbeat is probably, you know, the best, like, laser focused word you'd want to have for this one particularly, because if you get really energetic with it, you probably move a bit too quick. Like something like this. Let's go ahead and now we'll go ahead and talk about usage. Where does it look like it's being used? Is this audio only, or is this audio visual?
This is definitely audio video.
Yeah, this is TV.
Yeah, this is definitely an audio visual script. Yeah. Because, of course, they're going to be having glamour shots of the waffles coming out of the toaster and, you know, spreading butter and maple syrup all over it and whatnot. Yeah, the whole Lego thing. Yeah, it's probably going to show, you know, shots of families on the run where the kids come, like, skating down the stairs. They grab the banister, turn to the corner, and, like, somehow the waffle's, like, floating in the air, and they catch it and they head out. I don't know. You know, there's going to be those shots that we're sort of talking, we're sort of giving the color in between. And I think staying up, or what was it? Upbeat, right? Yeah. I think staying upbeat is kind of the main drive of this particular script. So, you know, not necessarily like, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? You know, that's way over the top, but definitely, you know, in a good mood. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? You know, something like that. Maybe a little bit slower. I'm probably moving too quick for it because I naturally do. But, you know, you want to keep it at definitely that sort of upbeat, positive attitude sort of way. I wouldn't necessarily say try to play to the younger audience, but just be an approachable voice. I would say that's probably a better way to put it. Be an approachable voice. Now that we know it's also audio-visual, we should also understand that we play second fiddle to what's going on screen. I know I've said that 100 times here. I'll say it 100 times more. We're playing second fiddle to what's going on screen. We want people to pay attention to it. We want people to be directed to it because, you know, those are all planned out ahead of time to really sort of bring people's attention and focus in on the product itself. So we don't want to be, you know, it's not like, okay, it's your cue to go on. All right, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? You know, we're sort of subdued a little bit. We want to stay behind what's happening on screen. So how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? You know, get people to think. Get behind their shoulder. Be the voice on their, you know, the little voice just standing right behind them.
I kind of want to point something out about that too. The first time you eat your home-style Eggo waffle, and the last time you read the home-style waffle, I'm thinking they sound different. I have to present them differently because they wrote it differently probably for that reason.
Okay, is that me?
That's Dan.
Okay.
No, that's just Dan's
internet connection.
Sorry, Dan. Well, I'm sure that was a good insight. We could barely catch any of that. Like we lost the vast majority of it. I'm sorry. But so yeah, let's go ahead and try that again. It's slightly clearer, but still really garbly.
Yeah, it's windy out here. It storms. The first, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? And the last, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Oh, that hurts.
I'm thinking, is it me bad?
Yeah, it's
okay.
The breakup is really bad.
I'll type out.
Okay. But I think he was mentioning something about the opening and ending. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? So we'll wait for him to type that out, and we'll get that going. But we'll talk about that in just a bit. So let's go ahead and plan out a little bit about what we're going to do with each of these, because each of these is obviously a different section of this video. It's a different section of the whole presentation. And while this is a 30-second script, we have maybe 10 seconds of dialogue in the whole thing. So each one of these is sort of self-contained, but they're still referencing the story and what's going on screen. So let's go ahead and talk about that.
So each line is probably a different audio or video.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a different section of the video. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you just said. See, the first line they might be coming down the stairs. The second line they might be opening the fridge. The third line ways to throwing it into the I don't know whatever. And the fourth is
So
they're happy and sitting there eating it.
each line's a standalone.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially, each line is a standalone.
Standalone. Sorry, jargon. I must learn the jargon.
Yeah, come on, two-time award winner Janet
would
Peters.
know the jargon by now.
Two-time award winner Janet Peters. Come on.
Oh, I'm going to tell you guys later after we close why I am the way I am. I'm so excited to tell you. Anyway.
All right, so Dan finished typing out, and he says the first and last phrases need to sound different. They're written different for that purpose. The first may be an honest question, and the last may be more of a statement, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I kind of agree with that. I think they both have a sort of different feel to it, because the beginning one is setting up, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? At the beginning, it's just sort of a question. It's like, hey, how do you do it? And then you have like a bunch of different shots of the different ways you could eat the waffle, whatever they're doing. And at the end, it's almost like so how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? It's like, what are you thinking now? What do you want to try this time? Go and buy the product.
Okay.
So yeah, the first one's a genuine question and the last one's a rhetorical.
Exactly.
Because the third line answers the question.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the second line is like a continuation of the question or clarification of which one I'm talking about. Oh, the one that's part of a complete and delicious breakfast.
Mm-hmm. About that, when it says part of a complete and delicious breakfast and you can create a million different ways to waffle, I think that there are specific places that we need to sort of emphasize just a little bit. Where do you guys hear that happening? Where should we put a little bit of emphasis in those areas to sort of continue to tell the story?
Complete and delicious breakfast.
Yep, part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to really emphasize that delicious because, well, that's part of selling these products, especially Eggo waffles, and cereal commercials are big on doing that. At least they always have been since I was a kid. This part of it used to be part of this nutritious breakfast, and well, breakfast stopped being nutritious a long time ago, so we got delicious instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to crash Eggos here because who knows? You might get
exactly
one day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dan brings up a good point. He says bracket complete and delicious. So that means make that one single idea. It's not just a complete breakfast. It's not just a delicious breakfast. It's a complete and delicious breakfast. So that whole thing has its own sort of lift, has its own sort of rise over it in your tone. So complete and delicious, I would say, yeah, put brackets around that and make sure that is, or brackets, highlights, underline, however you want to do that. Just make sure that that particularly right there needs to be put together. That's a single idea.
Okay.
And I would say in that same vein, do the same thing with a million different ways.
I was actually going to ask about that because I think a million different ways is important, but I feel like they're not just being cute or cheeky to say a million different ways to waffle instead of to have your waffle. Like I would very much caution against throwing waffle away if you overemphasize a million different ways. I think all of that needs to get some love.
They're trying to turn it into a verb like gift.
Right.
Yeah, it's a trend now, so you definitely have to hit it like that. Pizza, waffle, all of the foods now are verbs.
Wait,
Great.
what?
Okay.
Wait, what?
It's a trend. Janet, okay, someone explain to Janet.
No, a trend. I get it. Like that's what's going on in the voiceover world with commercials.
No, I mean,
what do you mean by a trend? I don't know what it freaking means.
I'm trying to explain. There are a whole bunch of these commercials now where they take a food or some other product and they'll say like, "Oh, this is how you pizza," meaning this is like this is how you eat pizza. This is how you enjoy pizza.
This is how you
make your
They go
waffles.
millennial
this
with
is how
it.
you that
Got
sort
it.
of thing.
Got it.
I don't know. It's popular with the kids these days to cut words out of stuff. I don't understand a thing they're saying. It's like a foreign language or something.
So as soon as you learn it, the next trend will come along anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you Coke?
Coca-Cola.
Why?
But that's actually a good point. You can create a million different ways to waffle.
That's going to
And
be a
Dan-
tricky line now.
A million
Dan said
different ways
waffle needs to sound humorous, and I agree. You gotta have a little twinkle.
Which one? What word?
Waffle.
Dan
Oh.
Dan said waffle needs to sound humorous, and I agree.
In the third line.
Oh, okay. Without trying to be funny. Okay.
Yeah, don't overdo it, but give it a twinkle.
Shouldn't be a problem for you, Janet.
Oh, Patrick.
Well, before we move on, does anybody have any other notes, anything else they noticed, or anything that we haven't gone over that you'd like to about the script?
No, I guess not.
No?
Just
Nobody?
that we're not.
Okay,
just
cool.
that we're not as important as the visuals.
Correct.
We're
Correct.
like a stand
We're-
back. But
That's right. That's right. So generally, if you want a good sort of rule of thumb for that, it's you want to be at maybe like 70% of your volume and roughly at around zone 2. So that's another thing that we use that I forgot to mention is zones away from the microphone. So here's your microphone. If you want to be in zone 1, you're going to be quiet and you're going to be close to the microphone. This is for things like movie trailers and certain just certain techniques.
Perfect.
Zone 2 is more of a your standard speaking voice, and it's roughly, I don't know, I want to say maybe 7 to 12 inches away from your mic. I want to say that's probably a good zone 2 area. And then zone 3 is farther away. You could be a little bit louder, so it's not going to blow people's ears out. So this one's definitely going to be a zone 2, but you're going to be at about 70% volume. You're not going to be, full volume, but you're not going to be super duper quiet. There's going to be some, what Nancy Wolfson calls active hush in the read.
Yeah. It's interesting with this one, and I did listen to the original of this, and the engineers managed to keep the music at a level that did not overpower the voice. And I was like, I was impressed by how they did that, because a lot of times you'll get a commercial and they'll have voice in it, but you'll not be able to understand a thing they're saying because the engineers have just over leveled the music too much. And it's just like, there's that fine line to keep your music at. So, yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty then. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get back into it. And Dan, since you're still here, would you still like to take your places first? Oh, no, skip. Okay. So then that means that Miranda, you're going to be our first reader when it comes to the directed reads. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Wow. Okay. Okay, great. There might be some background noise. I don't know how much you can hear, but there's lots of people outside my booth.
No,
so
you're good. You're
okay.
good.
Okay, just a heads up. Okay. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
Okay, well, I'll say it right away. It sounded a little choppy, not smooth.
Okay.
Very
But
careful.
that's
Yeah.
nothing. You can fix that easily.
That it was very carefully read. You tried to hit every single word instead of just feeling what the copy's about.
Okay.
I would also say your melody was very similar on all 4 lines. How do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So
Dan,
change it then, right? Is that right, Russ?
bracket that how do you eat your, because it sounded a bit forced.
Yeah, you want to have a very different sound on your first line, not very different, but you want to have a different sound on your first line and your last line. And I think you need, like Janet said, you need a little bit of variety on each line.
Okay.
Anything else? No? Okay.
Nope, go ahead.
Go ahead, Miranda.
Okay. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
That was better, but the first line and the last line sounded the same. Am I wrong?
No, that's what I thought. Oh, sorry.
Dan rule.
No, I'm
Dan
sorry.
rule violation. Dan rule violation. Calling you
Gonna
out.
put him back in the hospital doing
I'm
that.
sorry.
Already violating rules.
Yeah, but
Jeez.
we're
Oh
human.
God. Well, you put me first.
Yeah, well, when you miss a line, and you're auditioning, or you're in the booth by yourself. I mean, usually what I do if I miss a line, I will snap my finger and pick it back up again. In this case, just snap it. Then like, no, I'm sorry, or anything like that, because you start overthinking when you do that to yourself.
Yep.
Right.
You also
So one
annoy
of-
the engineer.
Yeah. One of the techniques that that I would suggest as a starter thing to do, just to get into just going back and starting over again, is using a verbal clue like pick up. So whenever you've messed up, say pick up, go back to the start of the line where you messed up, or if the script is short enough, just start over and then go ahead and read like it hasn't happened before. When you have definitely found out that you've messed up, you don't want to continue reading, because then your mind is on the mess up and it's not on the performance. So it's okay. It happens to everybody. That's why we have editing. Take as many mess ups as you want to. But yeah, there's something a little bit stilted about the first and last questions. The how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? I know it's a weird way to sort of start talking to people, but try giving it a little bit of pre-life. Give it like a word or two beforehand. Like choose somebody out of the group, like, hey, Devin, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle?
Okay.
Like actually address it to somebody, like what Jake did during his read. That might help you. I actually would suggest to do what Jake did, just for the first and last lines. So, hey, choose somebody in the group. How do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? And then at the end, start with, so how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Because then that pre-lives it in your mind to give that sort of, at the beginning, generally honest question, and at the end, cheeky sort of, hey, rhetorical question.
Okay.
So give that a try this time.
Got
And
that,
a
Miranda?
little bit more energy too. Just bring it
Okay.
up just a little, and don't fall off at the end of your sentences.
Okay. Hey, Jake, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
You're still being very careful.
Yeah,
You really are.
Okay.
When's the last time you had an Eggo waffle?
A long time ago. When I was like a teenager, I guess.
1975.
I don't know, like 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
So keep that energy right now that you have and read it again.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Jake, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Last
That
line
notice
was
was
what
good.
it
a
is.
lot better.
Yeah, the
Okay.
last
Yeah,
line was
but-
really good.
But you did the same thing on both of those questions, and this is good because it's a little bit of insight. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens is you started off strong. How did you? And then you crash. Eat your home style Eggo waffle. Your energy falls right off on the second half. You don't
I gotta-
carry it all the way through.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Can you hear yourself back through your headphones?
Yeah.
Okay, is there a slight delay so you're actually hearing yourself very well?
Yeah, I can hear myself well. Like it's no delay.
You want
Okay,
to take
no
them
delay,
off?
but you
Try
can hear
it
yourself.
with them off?
Take your headphones off and then just try reading it as natural as possible.
Not yet.
I do it all the time, Miranda.
Okay.
One more thing.
Okay.
You're coming
One
in
more
about
thing.
15 seconds. Just a guess.
Okay.
Do it in, make it in 10
Okay.
with the same energy you just did it.
Okay. I could take my headphones off?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Jake, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home?
Well, that's heartbreaking, but it was awesome. It worked.
Aside from the network connection,
It was a lot better.
It sounded
Okay.
right where it needed
Oh,
to sound.
did my internet give out?
Just
Just
on the
Yeah,
at the
last
it
end.
did.
I would
Just at the
say,
very end.
Oh,
I
okay.
would
the last
say
line. Just
retake
read
the
the last
last
line.
question. Retake the last question like 3 or 4 different ways.
Yeah.
That way, because it's still, I mean, for all of your previous reads, it sounded the same.
Yeah.
But that read was good.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was
So now you just
fantastic.
need to finish the tag where it's a little bit different than the first one.
Okay.
So do it like 3 or 4 different ways.
Okay.
And if you're worried about your internet connection, you can always hit the stop video just
Yeah,
while
that
you're
usually-
going.
Oh,
That'll
okay.
help.
That'll
Yeah, they'll
usually
take the
stabilize
lagginess
it.
out of it.
But yeah,
Sounds
so this is the last read.
Okay.
This one's going to be headphones off. You're just going to be reading that last question 4 different times in 4 different ways.
4 times? Okay.
Yep.
Oh God. Okay. Should I turn my video off then too? So it doesn't go out?
Yeah, just hit
Okay.
Yes.
stop video.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Go for it. Turn off the video, take off
Okay.
the headphones, and give us a read.
Okay. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? So, how do you eat your So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Was that 4?
Yes,
4.
yes, it was.
I like,
I like
I
3
like
and
the
4.
4th one. I like 3 and 4 as well.
I think
I liked 1 and 4.
one of the hardest things I think to do all the time, and we all do it, is we chop. We have to learn and practice how to read all the time so that when we're speaking, we don't sound like we're singing, but we're not going. I've got something with hot packets on my demo. You have to try to be smoother. Like I've got
Right.
something with hot pockets on my, without sounding like it's sing-songy. Do
Yeah.
you understand what I mean by that? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Do we want to give her a pattern break?
practice?
No, I actually think that
I think
that
we got it.
Got it?
I think we can pretty much agree that that 4th one was a good consensus
Yeah,
read. I think everybody
yeah.
really liked that 4th question. And yeah, I would say if we just cut that one out and slap that on the end of that last read, we got a great take, an absolutely great
Exactly.
take.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
You're free. You can now comment on other people's
Wonderful.
reads now.
Thank
So
you.
Richard, you're next up on the chopping block. Go for it.
You have to put it like that.
Of course I do. It's you.
How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
I lost the brand in the first question.
Oh,
Okay.
You need another read on that. That's all.
That was... Can I have one more shot on it?
Yeah, just go from the top.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you.
go ahead and
Because
read
it just didn't flow. It wasn't right. I don't know what I was doing here. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
I love you so much, Richard, but it's got to be a little faster.
Yeah, it's slow.
Okay.
You sound really timid. No, I think that's the best way that I can come out that I can describe it. Is that the questions come off really timid. How do
Okay.
you eat your home?
I try not to go over the top.
Hey,
No,
Grant.
just the first one. You ask it directly. How do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? And the second one is more like, so how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Something like that.
Talk to your grandkid. Do it like you're talking to your grandkid. Like
Yeah, I just got to
like
see
when they
him not
were
too
like
long
6
ago.
years old.
Grandkids
Yeah.
are staying for the weekend. They come downstairs. Here comes Grandpa with Eggos.
How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your home-style waffle? How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? Might be nice if I said the
That Daniel, you you did you lost. The delivery was great on line 4, but you lost your energy just a little bit. 1 and 3 were perfect. Line 2, I think you gave breakfast a little too much.
Okay.
I
So
think
complete
it was
delicious
the delicious breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast is. I think it's a little bit of a throwaway
Because
because
we know that's what it's for. Yeah.
well, no, we want you. They want you to eat it all day, right? But they want you to
True.
know it's complete and delicious, even if you have it for lunch, dinner, and a snack.
You can always put
I
chicken on it.
liked it up until the last line. You sounded just a little bit like you were trying to emphasize too much. I just want to hear you more like casual, like you're the cool dude. Like, hey man, how do you eat your Eggo home style?
Okay. All right. So start over.
Yeah, you were 95% there.
Okay. How do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
I think that
I'm
was
thinking we need to
wonderful.
do that last line over and over again.
You lost the grandchildren.
Yeah, I was trying to say their names. I'll say their names while I'm doing it, and it'll go a little better that way.
I was
that
going to
was-
say you
There you
lost
go.
the smile, and that's the same thing as losing the
I am so
grandkids.
worried about putting homestyle in front of Eggo that it trips me up, and I've got it highlighted and everything, and I'm still going. It's in bright yellow, and I'm still.
Don't pick it up over and over again,
Richard,
but
I
don't
thought-
worry about it.
No, Richard, I thought it was really good, but the last line. No, do it again, but the last line needs some help. That's what I
Okay.
hear.
Okay. Hey, Logan, how do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. Parker, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I like the earlier
Silent.
takes on line 3.
What's on line 3?
I like the earlier takes of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
I
can
agree.
create a million different ways to waffle. That's
Like
better.
if the kid, yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Like if the kid
I
goes,
changed it.
oh, well, I just have it plain with a little butter on it. Like, come on.
I also think the way that you did that line just then, like the previous ways you did it, does what we were talking about before, where you bracket or whatever the million different ways, but then you also put emphasis on waffle as a verb. So that's nice.
Okay. So was the last line, was that better this time?
I think we all probably should. Everybody should probably do 3 or 4 takes of the last one, just because that way it gets out of your head that you're doing the same sound.
Okay.
Yeah, either that or we definitely need to incorporate a pattern break right now.
How do you?
Let's see what happens. Yeah,
let's go
yeah,
here.
sorry.
Let's see. How
From
do
the top.
you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I love you.
Running out of ways.
Am I the
first
only one that
was
got
normal.
Casey Kasem on that third one?
Yeah,
I was thinking
I
the
got
same
it
thing.
too. I got it too.
And now we've got it.
America's top
Dedication.
40 Eggo homestyle waffles.
Hey, I was doing it 4 different ways. Were any of
Just
them any good?
emphasize a different
first
word
one.
each time, Richard.
I actually like the Casey Kasem take.
Yeah, that was
Okay, that's different.
anybody under the age of 40 is not going to get it, but hey.
Oh man, that was a appointment radio.
Could you do Elvis?
Like how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Peanut butter and bananas.
There you go.
How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Was that Quick Draw McGraw?
Hold on there, Baba Louie. No, that's Quick Draw McGraw.
That's pretty good there, man.
That was excellent.
My Quick Draw. Yeah, no, I watched way too much of it.
I think there's a little more when he goes, hold on there.
Hold on. I'll do the thinning around here.
All right, one more time through. Happy
The
Grandpa.
whole thing? Okay.
I'll do that.
How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
I like the way you said waffle on the third line, but then you lost your energy on the fourth one. It was like, oh,
and I'm
really
trying not to go
happy,
over
and
the
then all of a
top.
sudden
Okay.
it's,
How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Jake's just smirking. He's not saying nothing.
He is. He's a smirker.
I think this is not easy, the first and last line.
But give it a little bit of a wink that we were talking about there on that last line.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? With a little
Let's
more
wink.
energy?
That's an eye twitch. Give it a wink.
Okay. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
But down just a little bit more. That was like an 8. Come down to 6.5.
Okay. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
6.
I need to go up or down?
Down to 6. You were at 6.5.
Okay. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
I think you're there.
That might have been a 5.9.
Hey, it's always easier to pull them back down, you know?
Yeah. And I was trying not to go just way over the top, but how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Wow, it's part of a complete and delicious breakfast. No, we don't want to do that.
Well, what I was hearing was the second half. I was hearing this egg home style waffle, and like, no, dude, dial it down.
Okay. So did we get close finally?
I think that was it.
Is the 5.9 close enough for us?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
I was actually looking for a 5.9.
Well,
right.
Richard, you done good. Russ, you're up.
How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Okay, what does everybody else think?
Didn't seem to have enough energy there, bud. Put a little
Yeah.
more smile in it.
I was going to say the same thing. More smile.
Yeah.
You're at
it's
the
just-
5.9, and
I
I'd
don't
like
want
to
to go too much.
see
I want to turn it into a radio ad. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
That had a lot more energy.
Yeah, it did.
You're getting there.
Eggo home style both times. The first time
Yeah.
it switched, but I would definitely say, because your facial expression as I'm watching, you look like you got to be freaking kidding me, but the smile worked anyway.
Well, you can separate those.
You're in the ballpark there.
Yeah. That one you were right there at it.
Okay, I was trying to underdo it first because the images and everything.
Yeah, but you're still selling to 12-year-olds.
That's true.
Yeah,
that
well,
mention of
Russ
short
has to
attention
do it
span,
again.
Yeah, 12-year-olds for sure.
Yeah, but you got to do it again because you don't just do 2 reads and move on.
Okay.
Oh, he said he was in the ballpark. We didn't say he was.
Yeah, we didn't say you were done.
You're not hiring me?
I want some waffles. Come on, I
Okay.
want waffles for breakfast.
Well, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Halfway through that last line fell, and you still are putting Eggo in front of homestyle on the first line.
Damn it.
Oh,
I know
dang.
I've had
I'm
to
gonna start
highlight them,
cussing like
otherwise I was,
Janet.
I was missing
I,
them.
I marked my copy with a 1 over homestyle and 2 over Eggo, and then I
Oh my
flipped
Lord.
them on the last line just to make sure. I don't know if it's
Wow.
gonna or
Your
not.
brain thinks
It's
fast.
subliminal because it's that one commercial, let go my ego.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Subliminal that when you do
Okay, I'll get it right this time.
But your energy is good. You need to keep it all the way through that fourth line. You are good starting the fourth line, and then it's like Wile E. Coyote. It
That
just
seems
kinda,
like an exaggeration.
Yeah,
but
I think
okay.
you like Richard had the grandchildren. I think you need a target, whatever it may be for you.
How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
there. Energy was all the way through on the fourth line.
Yeah, I
That's
do
right
that
there
sometimes.
at it.
Thanks for pointing that out, Richard.
You're
Sometimes I
very
hear that on my playback, just like you're saying. Damn.
Yeah, I just wish I could hear mine when I'm doing auditions sometimes.
Patrick, is it okay with you?
Yeah, line 2 to me. I'm just thinking whether I want to put you through the pain of line 2 because I know I'm next, and I think line 2 is the toughest one to not sound silly on.
It
Yeah,
it
because it's
seems
that
like it should be
complete
kind of
thing.
final, like part of a complete and delicious breakfast.
I
Like
agree.
it is.
That's usually the thing they throw at the very end of the commercial,
Yeah.
and this one's very different because they put it in the middle.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's almost like the person the VO is talking to goes, Eggo waffle. Yeah, it's part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Oh, that Eggo waffle.
Don't those have bad things in them?
Oh no, it's got all the vitamins. It's like a Red
Just
Bull.
like
It's got all the
Monsanto
E.
vegetables.
Just like a Red Bull.
It's good for
I'd never eaten one until Sunday, folks. I had my first one on Sunday for whatever reason, and then this commercial pops up. I'm going, okay, that's weird.
Well, it's fate. Your future is Eggo waffles.
Yeah,
There you go.
He'll be
You're going to be
watching
the
the next
official
season of
voice of
Stranger
Eggo
Things.
waffles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fresh.
Come on, 11. We know what you like.
Just do a short triplet on the second line, just to see how they sound.
A what?
Just a triplet on the second line.
Okay. Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Part of a complete and delicious breakfast.
Do one more, but bracket complete and delicious.
Part of a complete and delicious breakfast.
I think that was the one.
All right, I'll put that one in.
I'm watching for other head nods, and the other heads are going, yeah.
Well, I liked 3, and then it did need a little more bracket, but it wasn't that far off. And 4, you made it perfect. So
It had that right amount of energy. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thanks. Who's next?
Here we go.
Patrick.
So, Richard, Sunday was your first one. How do you eat your egg? See, there we go. How do you eat your homestyle? I'm seeing Janet clap now. So, Richard, that was your first Eggo. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I like the pause on your just before Eggo Homestyle Waffle. That helped set the company name apart, and it had the same energy. So
I don't think you put complete and delicious together because I heard and really strong. I mean, not like punched or anything, but
yeah, that line didn't flow. The others I thought were really good, but the second line, yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was like
I heard line 3 pretty much just flat.
What?
I
Really?
mean, I think so. I mean, because we're
Didn't have
asking
enough
for
wink in it?
something.
You can
Yeah.
create a million different ways to waffle.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that actually
I
that
thought
worked.
that was my. I'm
That wasn't
on
over
the
the top.
verge of
That
banning,
actually
but
worked.
I thought I was like over the top on that.
That sounded good.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
this
that
is a
sounded real good.
concept. This is
Yeah.
a concept we have talked about in the past, that sometimes when you feel uncomfortable with the delivery is right when you're in the exact spot you need to be for the delivery.
Yeah.
Like sometimes feeling uncomfortable is the right place to be.
Unless it's the
Also gotta
wrong
think-
place.
You also got to
Yeah.
think, if this is for children, the definition of over the top when you're talking about copy you're reading on a commercial for children is a lot different than it is for like Ruth Chris Steakhouse. I mean, there's
Yeah.
That's a
over
good
the
point.
top for a kid is over the top. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, when
Okay.
you're dealing with kids, it's just a little bit more, a lot more energy, a lot more hyperactive, and just all over the place. So
So adjust yourself.
Yeah. Let me see. Fix yourself. Yeah. Let me do another run through and see if I can take the direction. So, Richard, that was your first Eggo? Awesome. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I think
Well,
you,
Go
sorry,
ahead. No,
I
go
think
ahead.
you sort of lost the delicious in that one line. Like it
Yeah.
went by really quick, and I feel like that's super important because they want you to eat them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
Million Ways was great, but you didn't get any wink to waffle, I don't think, like you did
Yeah.
when you did in between.
Okay.
wasn't enough
and the
waffle in there.
the pause works great to differentiate them a little bit, but I'd still love just a little bit different melody. The energy was right on 1 and 4, but the melody still seems similar.
Okay. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I
Mumbling
don't
to herself or
know.
muted.
Michael, what do you think, Michael, or anybody? Jake, anybody?
I was gonna say I actually really liked it. Of the two, the A and the B that you gave us on that last line, I actually like the A.
Okay.
I thought it was just different enough from what a lot of us have been doing that I think it might stand out.
Okay.
It didn't seem like it was asking the question again and not rhetorical.
It didn't seem rhetorical, but at the same time, it didn't seem like it was asking the question in the same way.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, and I mean, again, what the hell do I know? But it just seemed like if they're going to get 400 auditions and one of them is not rhetorical, maybe,
Yeah, it had some character for sure.
Am I free?
I don't know.
Michael's going, no.
I don't think so either.
Well, I mean, what do you want to hear out of it? Like, what do you want to hear out of his performance? If you don't think he's done
I'm not
it?
sure complete and delicious should be one together, because delicious is something that they probably want people to hear.
Well, again, both of those need that we talked about bracketing those, so both of them have a lift.
Right.
Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. They both have a little lift to them. So it
Okay.
looks almost like a camel hump in your tone. I don't.
Last one,
I
I
don't-
kind of I let breakfast kind of fall off and disappear. Part of a complete and delicious breakfast.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
You sounded
that
so much
wasn't that bad.
before like you were trying to put complete and delicious together so much that it wasn't working. But that was good right there.
The only thing that I thought of is for the very, very last question, give it some finger guns. So, How do you eat your? Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, do the old SpongeBob thing on there.
Oh, do the SpongeBob voice.
You paying? Hey, Patrick.
No, but seriously, like I would say, just one more take on that last line. Maybe give us 3 in a row, and yeah, give it a little finger guns. Just have some fun with it, and that'll be that. We'll call it an end after that, whether people like it or not. I don't care.
I'll run it from the top, and I'll do a triplet on the bottom.
Sounds good. Go for it.
All right.
How do you eat your home-style Lego waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Ah, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Second to the last one was good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
It had a lot of charm or something to it.
You got enough to work with. Thanks for coming by.
Good.
Checks in
We'll
the
just
mail.
patch in another actor's line on the last one.
You can go back to hanging cabinets or whatever you were doing.
We're going to get Joey from Friends to do this. How you doing?
How do you eat your?
All right.
Noodle soup.
So then up next is me. Great. All right, here we go. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
To me,
Second
the
and
first
third
3
line.
lines had the same melody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they pretty much ran together.
And I would say the second and the third line were a little flatter than they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Need a little more love, a little more smile.
Maybe slow down. I think you're going kind of fast.
I heard you
Yeah, I probably
talking to
am.
your. I heard you talking to your new college dorm roommate.
Hey, you know what? Eggo waffles are a treat in college, all right? Don't even give me that.
Yeah,
Yes, they are. But that's who I heard. That's the level I heard you talking to.
Even though this is a 30-second spot, you got a lot of room to work with because your words on this spot are only filling so much space at the beginning and end. The rest is filled up with somebody else singing. So,
Okay. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Oh, you're gonna kill me, Michael. I just want you to smile the whole time.
Yeah,
you needed more
the
smile.
delivery.
Other than
was
that,
fine.
the voice is perfect.
Yeah, it just had no, and that's exactly what Janet said. It
I'm
needs
sorry,
a
hang on.
little-
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? It had no what?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that
You need to
jargon?
do that.
Yeah, that's pretty technical there. I haven't heard that in a
That's right.
while.
Why don't you give us line 3 with some personality? Because you're doing 2 and 3 the same.
I liked line 4 on this last one. It's
Yeah,
like
line 4 has always been
line
okay.
4 warmed up. On the first, when you started, I'm like, he's too cool. He's trying to talk to the cool teenager, and you're just not there anymore.
I'm too old to be talking to the cool teenagers. Now it's
Hey,
creepy.
I'm the hip cool dad. Right. At some point, you become creepy old guy.
Right.
Oh.
We won't
Hey,
name
speak
any
for
names
yourself,
here.
son.
But
Yeah, that's not in the specs.
Don't rush it.
That'll be the next one.
Uh,
okay. All right. So I need to differentiate lines 2 and 3 a bit more.
Yeah,
With
if
a
you could just
smile.
add
And
line
make
3 just to
sure-
make sure it sounds good, and then we'll think we'll be ready to go.
Smile, my dear.
How do you eat your Eggo home-style Eggo? It starts home-style Eggo. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
That's definitely better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's an
I still
improvement.
felt like you lost the smile on that third line, but 1, 2, and 4, I'm taking right now.
Yes.
I just
Yep.
it just went away on line 3.
It's just the waffle word.
I was worried about the energy going out on the third line, and then he brought it back for the fourth one. So your third line was
So I'm
almost right.
dying on the third line.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you brought back your last
You're
bit of
you're
script.
selling on the third line. Don't sell.
You can
Always
create a million different ways to waffle.
To waffle. I mean, so, like, you're the one
Create
that
a
said
million
give
different
waffle
ways
a
to waffle.
Okay,
week.
well that bit sounded like it
A
belonged in a
million
kid's
different ways
commercial
to
for sure.
waffle. Let's go. Let's do this. So, how do you eat your Eggo? Home-style Eggo. First one is home-style Eggo. Right. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Give us triplets on line 3. Big smile energy.
Okay. You can create a million different ways to waffle. You can create a million different ways to waffle. You can create a million different ways to waffle.
He finally
Yeah,
gave waffle something on the third one.
I'd take 1, but
Yeah.
I'd also take 3.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. Yeah, 2 was you
Two-
went
I think
flat
that's
again
what
on
it was
2.
missing.
2, you didn't give waffle
More
the
technical.
verb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not on 1 either, I don't think.
More technical terms, Michael. 2 you went. So
Got it. So
I
two is-
actually agree with Russ. I don't think you gave waffle the verb on 1, but the rest of it had enough energy that it still worked for me. But
Mhm.
I would definitely take 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
You wanna
because
see if I can put it all together?
3 was pointing out waffle is a strange thing I'm saying here that's really cool. Or something.
You can create a million different ways to
Hey,
Waffle?
Rob's got a great more Jack Black.
check black. Great.
That is a great direction.
There you go. More Jack Black.
Jack Black.
School of Rock Jack Black.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. It's been forever, but you know, as soon as you tell me to copy somebody, my mind blanks and then I freeze up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear that.
All right, let's just go for it. Let's go for it. Let's see if I can let's see if I can do something special with that waffle again. All right. So, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle? Let me start from the top. How do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
That was
Good.
great.
Yes.
That was great.
I literally looked away and actually felt like I was listening to Jack Black. So you did a good job with that attitude. So
yeah.
Well, that's great because I completely blanked.
Golf claps all around.
Yeah.
That was an
because it just
entirely
kind of-
like blank.
it muscle memoried its way in there. I don't know. Do you ever try to do Jack Black impressions at all?
Maybe back when he was still popular.
Oh, it was there. It was there somewhere in the back of your mind. You know.
It was somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if that works for everybody, let's go ahead and move on. All right. Up next is
Devin.
Okay.
the one and only Devin. Go for it.
How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
One word. Red.
That mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
that's
warming up.
probably what led to the melody being the
not
same.
R-E-D.
Correct.
Wait, what?
R
Oh, I get it.
E D.
Yeah.
Right from the copy, just
Gotcha.
like the kid who sat next to you in homeroom.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just Devin, I'm gonna suggest something. Okay, I know you like to do your comedy videos, and just do it like you're doing one of your comedy videos.
Those
I
tend to
mean-
be over the top, though.
Yeah, well, just take it a little bit in that direction. You can always
Did
dial
did
it
we
back.
did we not talk about that earlier?
What? Not
That
going
over the top for you might not be over the top for children's television commercial.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, just take it off in that direction. You know, like
Okay.
your last hilarious political video you did
Which one was that?
without
Oh.
as much cursing.
Without the curse. Okay, I'll G-rate this one. Okay. So, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create 1,000,000 different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
I loved it except for the last line.
Okay.
Let
What do you want me to emphasize,
That's
Janet, on
me.
the last one?
Don't
Hold on.
forget, that's
Let-
me. That doesn't mean
No, that was, I think Janet's spot on. Let the lines breathe, and I think that'll take care of the problem for
That's
you.
true. Yeah.
4 different lines.
Okay. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create 1,000,000 different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Okay, you sped it up again, or you started connecting the lines again. The
You
other,
lost your energy.
you didn't find your energy until you got to waffle in the end of the first line. On your
Okay.
previous read, you were there. So what Nathan said, we got, do over the top. This is
Okay.
children's television. Feel that energy before you start reading. Take a breath between each line.
Breath in between. Okay. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create 1,000,000 different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
I
Yes,
think doing
you're ending on the same
the
note.
same, it's the waffle on the third and the fourth line sounds the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Which one do you want? Do you want to just go through really fast one more time and try to mix it up, or
We do want you to go through, but not really
Not
fast
fast.
because you've already been doing that.
right? Okay.
And,
Okay.
and I would say your energy was great on 1, 2, and 3. It's just that you had the same note on 3 and 4.
How do you eat your Eggo home-style? Okay, 3 and 4. Okay. All right, guys.
Here. This is
What?
you're doing something none of us did on line 1, which is great. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle? How do you eat you're doing that? You're hitting the U. Hit the U like you've been doing on the first line, and hit the your on the 4th line.
Oh, you want more? Okay.
How do
hold
you
on.
eat your Eggo home style waffle on line 4?
Okay. All right, guys. How do you eat your Eggo? I reversed it. Okay, guys. How do you eat your? All right, everybody.
Get
How
out of
do
your
you
head.
eat-
Get out of
What?
your head. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. I'm doing an Everett Oliver for her. Might be time for a pattern break.
Oh,
Everett would have had those headphones off by now.
Well, I can't hear. Well, actually, that's a good thing if I can't hear you guys. Okay. So, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create 1,000,000 different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Faster.
Do you want more gaps? You
No,
want
it
the
was
line
great.
slower, or you
No.
want more gaps in between?
I want gaps in between.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought your pace and energy was great. It
Just like I
really
told
was.
Michael, you got a lot of room to work with because it's a 30-second spot and
Right.
you're just filling in the top and the bottom and everything else is music. So
Okay.
But you're there.
All right, guys. So, how do you eat your
Take
Headphone
your
off.
headphones off.
what?
Headphones
yeah.
off.
Hey, everybody. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create 1,000,000 different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Triplets on line 4. Everything else is fantastic.
How do you eat your how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Hit your.
How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Patch it
'cause
in.
the way that you were asking it before sounded like, okay, I've never seen a waffle before in my life. How do you eat this thing?
Waffle? What is waffle?
You're saying you didn't like my interpretation?
Baloney.
We are from an
I'm
alien
just gonna
planet
say
called
it
Florida.
just sounded like you were entirely unsure how to eat a waffle. Like that's just the way that it came off. So yes, you have to emphasize, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? Like, how do you do you? You know, how do you
Okay.
express yourself through your waffle eating? It's the weirdest question I think you could ever ask somebody. Imagine using that as like an icebreaker. Like imagine sliding up to somebody and be like, so, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Do you wear it around your neck
That's how
like
I
a
met my
medallion,
husband.
like a rapper
Well,
does?
then you had some good practice with it.
So are we done? Or do you want one more?
I want to see you put it all together.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. Hey, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast.
I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to
You
stop
can
you right
create
there.
a million different ways to waffle.
Kid here.
How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? What?
He was
What?
stopping
You started
at the
off
home
by
style.
asking. You started off by asking, how do you eat a waffle again?
Okay. All right, let me leave the headphones on then. Okay. Oh, you meant on the first line. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle?
No, not you, not you. Your. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Okay. I hate waffles. Okay. How do you, hey, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
There you go.
Yay!
did.
You found it.
You did it.
Got
You
it
did it
agreed.
because at the beginning, yes, you were pandering to 11 from Stranger Things. How do you eat this thing? How do you eat these waffles? How?
Raw and
Wait.
cold.
That could be a comedic choice.
I mean, yeah, sure, it could. Yeah, but still, it's just like the whole idea is, you know, you're appealing to trying to appeal to kids, and kids want to be recognized individually. So how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Oh, I get it.
You were
Yeah.
pulling the emphasis off of that your. So how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? You know, that question sounds like, I have this square thing with smaller squares in it. How do I eat it? You know?
Don't you? We should have talked about that in the discussion. You can create a million ways is the answer to that. Your individual waffle.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's your waffle. Eat it how you like it.
It's your waffle. Do your thing. Anyway, you put it all together that time. Fantastic. Janet, now it's up to you to do the same thing.
Let your freak flag fly.
All right. So here we go. We're having a read by two-time award winner Janet Peters.
Thank you, darling. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's see. Like 4 lines. It's like, I'm in. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo? How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Oh, shit. Let's think. I'll do it again. How do you eat your home-style Eggo?
Cans off. Cans off. Remove them. There you go.
How do you eat your... Hold on, my throat. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your egg? Hold on. I'm not listening. I'm doing it again. Then you can tell me what I did wrong. How do you eat your How do you eat home style? Man, I'm going to say Eggo. How do you eat your home style Eggo? How do you eat your Wait, hold on, man. This is like a psychological problem. How do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
I think she ended up squarely in her head by the last time.
Yeah.
I 110% agree. Mhm.
Yes,
Even without the cans.
became very overanalyzed, and just have some fun with it. If you got to take it over the top, take it over the top. You can always dial it back.
Be Grandma Janet.
Yeah. I thought you were trying to you were in your head so much and analyzing that you lost your energy worrying about to get this stuff. So just let it go. Whatever happens, just go with it.
Think about what you said to Richard. I love you, but you got to have a whole lot more smile. Paste a big, giant, goofy, shit-eating grin on your face, and then make it bigger because it's not big enough.
Okay. All right. All right. Here we go. Out of my head. It's going to be a little over the top. Okay. Wait, just a second. Just a minute. Okay. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Fucking last line. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle? Come on, lay it on me.
That second read felt like something that I heard when I was a kid watching cartoons on Saturday morning. It almost landed there.
There's a part of me that feels like maybe your happy place is after you've cussed a little bit because you dropped a little bit. See,
Yeah.
right there, that big smile that you've got laughing about it. If you have to mute yourself to make yourself feel better, do it. But just drop a couple of F-bombs and then go right into it.
Oh, what's wrong with me? All right.
No, that's great. Are you kidding me?
I
I'm
know.
a teacher. I cuss all the
so-
time. I
So
love it.
here's the thing. Janet,
What?
that first read that you did, that first reread, was the very first read that you did. Very flat, very dry, just faster. That second read did have a little bit more energy to it, but I think Jake is on to something. I think you need to mute up. I think you need to just cuss up a storm and then just go right into it. Be laughing at yourself this whole time. This is supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to, just don't even take it seriously. You're getting into your head taking this too seriously.
All right.
Yeah.
Nor the microphone.
Oh, and I know what
So,
was that I heard in that second read. Remember the Florida orange juice commercials? I know I do because I grew up there. But
What's her face? That
the-
crazy nut.
yeah, with the glass of sunshine, whatever, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
go ahead.
All
But
right. I will. Hold on.
and do not and when you go back into the reads, do not read it as yourself. Be Cruella de Vil. Be a great Disney villain. I don't care what it is. Just don't be you.
Okay.
Like get yourself out of your head. Mute up. Cuss it out a little bit if you need to.
All right.
Get yourself laughing and then just have fun with it.
All right. Okie dokie. You asked for it. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I think the Cruella de Vil line worked.
It did. It did. And her warming up to that way made me think of Maurice LaMarche's warm up. I don't know if anybody's ever heard about his warm up, but that's what he does.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah. I was in a play a number of years ago with my daughter in Los Angeles, and I couldn't do it. And the guy said, Janet, the director went, Janet, light a fucking cigarette and read and do the lines. And I swear to God, I was like, woo, I just rolled. But the character called for that. But thank you for that. Maybe I'll do that when I'm auditioning at home too.
Don't
It's
forget
something.
that.
Definitely brought character. It definitely brought character to the read.
It's a pattern break. It's something to try. Actually, one of my favorite exercises that I had with Nancy Wolfson, which I had to modify a little bit for myself, but is if you want to have that more like serious read, and again, I would suggest like contacting her about the lessons to actually get the full lesson from her. This is the Spark Notes, Cliff Notes version of it. But if you want to get a really serious read going, or if you want to get emphases down where they need to be, just drop F-bombs where you naturally could into the script. It doesn't matter what the script is. Just look at the script and F-bomb the whole thing, and then like read that to yourself aloud, and then remove those and keep the same inflection. Like she's got a whole thing about that, which again, I would suggest you go to her to really get a deep, detailed look at it and specifically how to use it. But that is a technique that, you know, a working voiceover coach is telling people to use. It's a thing you can do. Like any tool you can to break out of your own mind, use it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that we've had that experience, Jake, it's your turn.
Wait, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
You guys have mentioned pattern breaks a few times. What do you mean by that?
You know what? Probably should have said something. Okay.
I was going to say, don't you dare make me do it just to show her.
So sometimes you'll notice when you're like when somebody's reading that they will constantly, regardless of the feedback that you give to them, they'll constantly read something the exact same way again and again and again. They have a pattern that they sort of, imposed on themselves that they're just having the hardest time breaking out of. So maybe it's the second line that they read exactly the same way each and every single time, and that's the big problem. So we like to do what we call a pattern break, which is you give it just some ridiculous character, something that's totally opposite of what you are. You know, something that you really have to stretch and feel uncomfortable doing, and you deliver the entire script that way. So, like, I've had in the past, I've had a grown adult male with a very deep voice read it as if he was a teenage girl at a Justin Bieber concert. We've had all sorts of ridiculous, crazy things. I've had to read things as a pirate before. Like, you know, we do all kinds of crazy characters or crazy something that we give to people who constantly read the same things over and over again to try to break their mind out of that pattern, to really throw them for a loop so that when they go back into it, they're no longer overthinking things.
Cool.
So that's
Thank
what
you.
a pattern break is. Also, I want to take this time to say, Frank, hey,
hi, Frank.
I haven't seen you in forever.
Frank.
Welcome back.
It's actually a ghost. It's not really me.
Oh.
Well, you know what? A ghost is better than no Frank.
Thank you very much.
Glad.
Anyway, Jake, you're up. Go for it.
All right. Oh, man, Russ, how do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? For me, part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your home-style Eggo? So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Right, Jake, you were in some kind of high pitched weird thing that you usually don't do.
Yeah,
Surfs-
that sounded a
surf-
bit
surfs
forced
up,
because it
dude.
was so.
I think
Yeah,
you've got
there you go.
energetic, upbeat, happy, not over the top, vocal tone and conversational. Wrong character.
Yeah,
Wait,
Jake was trying to sound like Nathan.
Something like that.
You
You're
know what?
very
This
light.
is, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's just this has to do with my auditory and stuff that the first line is how do you eat your home style Eggo? And the last line is how do you eat your Eggo home style? I just saw that. Yeah, I'm just letting you know. That's all. Just letting you know.
Yeah, they were waffling in their order the entire time. It seems like it just
Yeah.
goes from one to the other. So,
Nice. Nice.
hey, how do you know when a joke becomes a dad joke?
You tell it.
When it becomes apparent. Anyway,
Michael,
cringe.
Michael, there is a
I
reason
think
I've
that's
been away
funny.
for 3 months.
You know what, Frank? I don't blame you whatsoever.
Christmas, Frank.
Well, anyway, yeah, no, you were definitely taking on a character there, Jake. Like,
Okay.
yeah, we at least if you weren't doing that intentionally, it was definitely coming off unintentionally because you changed and you modulated your voice to sound like some, I don't know, stereotypical skater kid, and it didn't really fit. You were trying to give it one delivery and you were sounding like another. So I would
I
say
went for the energy and wound up with the character by accident.
yeah, I would say you need to swap that.
Okay.
Go ahead and give it another read.
Okay. Oh man. Hey Russ, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? For me, part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Oh man, you can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home? So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
I still think we're in the wrong group. You're doing peer, and I think this needs to be cool dad. That's just my. You're for the character you chose. You are nailing the lines. I just think it's the wrong character.
Right. No, I understand. I got you.
Yeah. Just be energetic, you.
I'm starting to have the same problem you have, though, Nathan.
Yeah. I've been trying to shake that for a long time. so-
Yeah, I don't want it, dude. Take it back. I don't want it.
Inside Jake's head.
You have no idea how bad that's a place. Okay. So, sweetheart, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? For me, for daddy, it's part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Yeah, baby, you can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo? So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
So here's what I'd do. If you were auditioning for this, I would send this as take 1, and I would send the previous one you did as take 2, which would show your range, because your delivery was great on both of them. And it would give them an option if I'm wrong and they want, if I'm wrong, how could that happen? If I'm wrong and they want the pure teenager voice, you got it for them.
Right.
So neither one, the last one, my one concern, and this is me back in my head, but I'm not Dan ruling, so everybody shut up. Was it over the top?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
it was right on where it
It was
needed to be,
perfect,
and I
except
thought
for
it
the
was a
last
good
line.
read on that last one.
Except
You
the
kind
last
of,
line. The last
yeah.
line you fumbled. That's all.
and then when you redid it, you picked it up. I thought it was great. You kind of got
Yeah.
away from that. Dude, look what we got.
Yeah, and I saw
Got
you
your
talking
home
to
style
your
Eggo,
daughter.
man.
I saw you
Yeah.
talking to your daughter. I
Yes.
absolutely did.
Yep, and it came across terrific, just the way it was meant to be. So your last take was
Made me want
good.
one.
Fantastic.
So
Out
that's
of
what I was-
curiosity, Jake, when you record auditions, like just in your own studio, do you insert like all those kinds of words, not just before the line, but in the line too? Like you said, like daddy likes it like this or whatever, and then do you just edit those out, or is this just for an exercise?
Here's what I'll say. Bless your heart for thinking that I'm actually good enough to be at that point. I'm still in the newbie phase. I don't even have a demo, let alone have I done any auditions for anything other than audiobooks, and I have recorded a grand total of 1. But when I am practicing what my coach tells me to, I always leave that stuff in, because what she's told me is you can always cut it out in post when you send in the audition if you want to. But you guys are the pros. How many of you leave it in? How many of you cut it out? Because I honestly don't know, and I'd love to know the same thing.
I cut it out, but
I cut it
I'll
out.
record it for my own just to help me out. Then I'll cut it out. But I will occasionally do an improv line too that I will leave in.
Yeah.
Now,
On the second
too
take.
dangerous.
Yeah,
That's too
I
dangerous for
ad-libbed
me.
one line and the
Nope.
producer left it in. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but it's still there and still playing on television. So
Yeah, for the
No,
most
because
part.
you know what? You have to be careful when you're auditioning. You cut and paste and cut and paste and cut and paste and cut and paste. They know. They hear it. It's not wise, I don't think.
yeah,
'Cause
they
So-
can tell when it's cut.
Yeah, we can have a little bit more in-depth discussion into recording auditions after the session. But all in all, I would say for your first take, make sure it's as clean a single take as you can. If you do include those pre-lifing ad libs, cut them off. In the second take, you can be a little bit more flexible. You can have a little bit more fun.
I had an audition the other day for the word bullshit, and they didn't want you to say it. It was for whiskey, and on my third take, I did, and they loved it. I said, I don't give it.
That's your dream
that.
job, Janet.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, I forgot what aging is bullshit. And I said it on the third take, and they were like, yeah. Because you're right.
Well, there goes the family-friendly rating.
Just edit it out later.
Stop. Oh, stop it.
Well, we've
I'm
had at
over
least
with
2
it.
F-bombs on here already, so.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, no,
stop
I
it.
know. This one's yeah. Anyway, so
Oh,
That's
let's
how they
go
talk
ahead.
in Janet's family.
Let's go ahead and get back to the reads, shall we?
Sorry.
No, it's not. It's not. I come from a very dignified family. Musicians, artists, violinists, writers, authors.
And voice
So,
actors.
You know.
And
And
voice
now
actors, yeah.
voice actors. Oh, screw
All right.
yeah.
So Jake, why don't you go ahead and give us one more take?
Okay. Give me a second. Hey, sweetie, how do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? For me, for Daddy, part of a complete and delicious breakfast. Honey, you can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I would
I
honestly
like that
keep
one.
your,
Golf claps all around.
I'd keep
Nicely
your
done.
your last take where you switched over. I'd take that one because this one sounded too eager.
Okay.
That's just me. I
Well,
really did prefer your previous take.
I like this one because it was consistent, and maybe it's because the one before you had to redo the fourth line, and maybe that's what it still came out good. But this one was a consistent character doing like you're talking to somebody the whole way through. I could see it. So
I liked it. The only thing I would just say on the very last Eggo homestyle waffle, just a hint of lifting it. Just a hint.
Are you saying I did or I need to?
No, that I would like to hear a little bit of just
Okay.
a little lift. To
So you need
distinguish
to.
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
But in the interest of time, with
Sure,
how many
yes.
people we still have left, we got to move on. Nathan, you're up.
Okay. Hey, how do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
No, I didn't like the last line for sure.
The only thing I had was on line 3. You kind of threw away waffle.
Okay.
It just kind of died off. But
Yeah.
I love the character. I love the tone. Everything was great.
I think from about the middle of line 3, starting at 2 waffle, the rest of it just kind of died off. And honestly, when you hit waffle so fast on line 3, you sounded more like Donkey and Shrek.
You can create a million different ways to waffle. I don't want a waffle donkey. Okay. Hey, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Damn it. Sorry, I got to mute.
Yeah,
It just sounds a little too measured, I think. A little too measured.
I agree with that. Waffle on 3 and 4 both kind of fell off. The waffle.
Waffle. Okay. Hey guys, how do you eat your home style? Where did I get that from? I suddenly went into an accent. Okay. Hey guys, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
You dropped different on line 3?
You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Ooh, I'm keeping that one. I like the way you're cracked on it. Anybody else? Those are really excellent reads, Nathan.
Yeah, I really liked it. My biggest issue, I didn't even have the problem you had, but I agree he made it better after you said it.
Yeah.
The second line, I felt like he was throwing punches with a complete and delicious breakfast.
That's the one I didn't like. That's what I had was number 2 was, okay, we're over the top. And then it was like, rock'em, sock'em, delicious breakfast.
Rock'em, sock'em. Okay. All right, I'm going to take it one more time. Hey guys, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
You pulled a Jake on that one and modulated your voice.
Okay.
Now I know what you were
You
saying.
keep dropping off on waffle, and waffles are important because it's a waffle commercial.
Waffle. Okay.
Come on. Waffles matter.
Hey guys, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you Eggo? How do you Eggo? Okay. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Hey, you lost your energy. It just died.
A waffle,
Okay, for you, you need to bracket home style Eggo waffle and Eggo home style waffle. Bracket the 3 words.
Gotcha.
And on line 3, don't let it drop. Because I'm going to exaggerate this. You can create a million different ways to waffle.
Okay. To waffle. All right. Hey guys, how do you eat your egg? I flipped it, didn't I? Hey guys, how do you eat your Eggo home? Hey. All right. Hey guys, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million ways. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
He's still doing it, isn't he? Or am I the only one?
I'm just.
No.
Man,
It's not.
This is a
it's
great
not as,
waffle.
No. It's not as bad as it was before. The only thing is, 1 in 4. You know, the questions about the waffle, those were asked the exact same way. Like that was the same waffle question. Remember, the beginning is a genuine question. How do you eat your waffle? Then the answer to that is the third line. There's a million different ways you can waffle. And the last one is, so now that you've got a couple of ideas, how do you eat your waffle? You know?
Gotcha.
This one was asked genuinely both times. Thankfully, you didn't pull a Devin. You weren't asking how to eat the waffle itself.
How do you eat
But
a waffle?
it wasn't quite what it needed to be for the script.
You were the one saying, you were the one trying to do Joey from Friends earlier. Do it. How you doing? How
Hey,
you
Dad,
doing, Ego?
how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
We did it again. So underline you on the first line and your on the fourth line.
I gotcha.
And keep bracketing home style Eggo waffle and Eggo home style waffle, because it's like the balloon is running out of air as you say that, because waffle just waffle.
Waffle. Okay. Hey guys, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat? So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Two things.
How do you eat your? And that
Your.
last line, your. So how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I have trained myself so not to punch that pronoun that I'm not punching the pronoun.
And on line 3, you punched the hell out of waffle. You knocked it out of the park.
I beat up a waffle. Oh my God.
Okay. So, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to eat a waffle. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
That was your best line 4.
The pacing was all the same, though.
Now, when he did the pickup on 3, it went really slow.
Okay.
Just pick up line 3.
Does he? Okay.
Go ahead, Devin.
You can
I was
create
gonna
a
say, does he
million
need a
different
pattern
ways to.
break?
Okay.
You just had one, Joey from Friends.
He did, but he didn't go right
I-
back into it. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're supposed to do the pattern break and then go right back into it. Then you get that flow. Go ahead and do one.
So, how do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle? How do you eat your home style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Well, that would have been great, except that that last line was your.
Yeah, you punched it too hard, but everything else about that one I liked.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going, oh, he's got it. Oh, I heard the your hit the ground.
And went,
slapped it. Oh no. Ow, are you hurt?
But it's always easier to bring it down a little bit. But the way that you read it was fine. Just don't jump on your quite so hard. But you had it that time.
fantastic.
I agree.
Okay, interest
All
of
right.
time. Move on. So,
Rob, you're up.
How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
All right, let's get some feedback going. What did everybody think?
Rob, you had life on that second line and nowhere else. And I was excited to hear delicious breakfast, and then it went away again.
Do you guys hear that?
Feedback?
yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, there's some feedback
there.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's coming from Rob's stuff.
Are you using the computer mic?
Okay, what was that?
Are you on the computer mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that high pitched squeal is.
Maybe turn it down a little.
Yeah, it's a Windows thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I can turn it down and just talk a little bit louder. If that helps, I don't know.
I was going to say maybe mute your speakers while you're doing it and then turn them back on for feedback.
How would
I don't know that he can.
I'm computer literate.
Turn the volume down on the speakers while you're reading.
Oh yeah, duh.
Bring it back up.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Oh shoot, my bad. Okay, how's that? Better?
Same.
Same? So do you want to go to the next person or?
No, just do it.
No, go for it.
No, we don't need to go to the next person. Just go ahead and give us a read.
Okay. How do you eat your Eggo? How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
So this particular script does need a little bit more emphasis on your. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Both times that question came up, you didn't emphasize that. Now, normally that wouldn't be a bad thing, but in this one, we require it. So again, in the very first question, you want it to come off as like a genuine, how do you do it? And the second one, you want it to be more of like a cheeky, well, now that you know some other ways, how are you going to do it? You know, you want to at least separate those two. Everything else in between, you're doing okay. It's just those two questions come off the exact same way, and you're not emphasizing the your. How do you eat your Eggo waffle? How are you expressing yourself through this food? So, give it another go.
Okay. How do you eat your? Oh my gosh. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? A little bit too cheeky.
Yeah, and I would also say I think in that first one, I think when Patrick said it to Nathan, he had it right. In the first question, emphasize you. And then in the second time you read through it, emphasize your. So the first time, kind of like the way Michael said it, how do you eat it? And then the second time is, so how are you going to do yours? See the difference?
Yeah. Was it a little too rushed at the end? But for the sake of time, I'm guessing next.
No, yeah, I don't think it was rushed. It was you need to keep that energy up throughout the whole thing, and I think you'll just hit your you and your on the last one, and I think that's going to help you a bunch.
Yeah, don't stress on time. Go ahead, man. Give it another read.
Okay. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I think you're getting a little too eager and not enough smile.
Okay. Yeah.
So you need something to focus on, some kind of character, something. And then like Jake said,
over the top line.
You on line 1 and you're on line 4.
Do you think picture it or try to pattern break?
You need to talk to somebody. You need to be talking to somebody when you're doing this.
Hey, Marky, how do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? It's part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. Marky, how do you eat your homestyle waffle?
Line 4 again, punch, not too hard, but punch you.
Well, Marky, how do you eat your,
Too strong.
How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
But with the smile, with the same energy you had on the 3 previous lines.
Marky, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
It sounds accusatory.
Yeah, you sound more exasperated with Marky.
Like, oh my God, kid, make up your mind. How do you want the waffle? No. Marky, how do you eat your Eggo home style waffle?
Don't hurt
Rob,
his feelings.
Rob, you remember when Michael said finger guns on that last line? Try that. Just give me a, how do you eat yours?
Marky, how do you eat your Eggo? Marky, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
And there it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
Good direction.
Proper golf clap.
Good.
Vincent, if there's time. Oh yeah, of course. If you made time for me.
My turn now?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Go get it, bud.
All right, here I go. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Pretty good for a first take.
I
Yeah.
would say
Love
the
the
first
energy.
3 lines were pretty good. The last one, everybody's been.
We're all struggling with that
Yeah.
fourth line.
Yeah.
I want to punch it. I think you left off the word before you got to million. You can create million. I didn't hear maybe it was just me.
Ah,
I mean, it's a little thing, but it broke up but your energy was dead on. Don't change your energy. That was terrific. But you need to do the same thing we were talking to Rob about, is you need to do you on the first one and your on the fourth one.
all right.
That's how you're going to differentiate them. Okay.
Okay. All right. Give it another shot.
Go.
Okay. How do you eat your How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Close.
Yeah. 1 and 4 still sound the same.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent, just do the first line and do it like a genuine question. Hey, how do you do that?
Okay. Okay. Let me see. Hey, how do you eat your Hey, how do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle?
Okay. Now, for the last one, give it a wink and say, now how are you going to do yours?
Now, how are you going to do yours? Okay. The last one, right? Okay. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Smooth that out a little. It's a bit staccato.
Yep.
Okay.
Vincent, the fourth line. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Yep. Now, just like Richard said, smooth it out.
How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Okay, I want you to be genuinely curious. You're at
Okay.
breakfast. Everybody's got waffles. Hey, what do you like? Actually, Vincent, what do you put on your Eggo waffles?
Maple syrup and blueberries.
That's awesome. That's a great choice. And you see the person sitting next to you start to do something completely different that you've never seen before. So so go ahead and ask them. They're like putting bologna and peanut butter on it.
Yeah, okay. Hey, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
Nailed it. That's
There
it.
you go. That was a lot better. Much smoother. You weren't trying to articulate every single word as you said it. And it just make it so that you're just having a conversation. Hey, this is how I eat mine. How do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle? So
Thanks.
way to take direction. Good job.
Agreed. Very solid.
Thanks. So we want me to give the whole paragraph a shot?
Yeah, go for it.
The whole sentence? Okay.
Sure.
Hey everybody. How do you eat your homestyle Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. Hey, how do you eat your Eggo homestyle waffle?
I think 1 and 4, if you switched them, were perfect.
Yeah. He did the opposite.
We can
on
do that in post.
Yeah. Well, it's the same line, just move it a little. All right.
We're getting there. Great progress.
Yep. Keep practicing.
Thanks, guys.
Frank. Good job, Vincent.
Thank y'all so much.
Oh boy, it's time to beat up Frank time. Oh.
Like this commercial script is so complicated.
So Michael, are you there?
Oh, Michael? No.
Michael's not there. Okay. Now, I have a question because Patrick and Jake are both saying emphasize you in the first line and you're in the last line. You, however, are saying never emphasize you in the first line, emphasize your in both lines. Hello?
Yeah, I know. I think it.
He had
What
something.
Michael's been doing on line 4 is he's been hitting you and your on line 4, but
All
only
right.
you on line.
I just wanted to know which you guys would prefer. So, all right.
Your does not need to be emphasized on the first line.
Okay. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? See, I just emphasized your. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
Okay, let the lines breathe. It's a 30, and
There's
these
no
are
way this is going to be a 30.
It is a 30.
It is. There's just
you're just
ton of
not a
music
very
ahead.
no
Well,
offense,
exactly.
you're just not a very important part of it. So these are 4 these are 4 individual lines within the 30.
Okay, but I'm saying it's not a 30 script.
It is a 30 script.
It's
It's a 30-second spot. You've only got 10, 12 seconds of it. These are
Right.
4.
That's what he meant.
That's what I mean. It's not a 30-second read.
No.
Is what I'm saying, Patrick.
It's a
These-
video.
These
Just
are
take a breath
4.
after each line because you were running from one to the next, and
Okay,
that's all.
I will
Just
I
go
will slow down.
and let it go, and then go to the next one.
That's what I was trying to say.
There you go.
You're welcome, Patrick.
It takes a village.
How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo home-style waffle?
The direction remains the same. Take a pause after each line and let it rest.
Okay.
I
also
loved your
feel like there
last
needs-
line, though. I think it was one
Yeah.
of the best lines of everyone's. That
Yeah.
we've all been doing 20 takes on that last line.
Right.
Frank's been taking notes.
Yeah, the delivery is there, the character is there, the warmth and the smile, everything's there. Just let each line breathe separately.
Okay.
And the last line, Frank, try and do it a little different from the first.
Okay. How do you eat your home-style Eggo waffle? Part of a complete and delicious breakfast. You can create a million different ways to waffle. So, how do you eat your Eggo? home-style waffle?
I like that one.
That's
I'm
a
good.
keeper.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an official golf
Write the
clapper.
man a
It's
check.
his voice. It's his voice.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we got Frank and Devin as our short list for today.
Yay, Devin! I'm on the long list if the engineer needs some practice.
I think Janet's on that list too, so we can edit out all the cuss words.
Hey, buddy, we can work at it.
Wait, what? Are we done?
We made
Yes,
it.
I believe we have made it to the end of another mic check. And
All right.
yes. So I'm
Just
gonna
like
close
a
us out.
telethon.
And I hit it, and I hit the sentence off perfectly.
Nicely
That's
done.
right, Vincent.
And so we do come to the end of another mic check, but there's always more. And next week is Michael's week, so we're gonna see what great, awesome thing Michael's gonna bring us. And you know the drill: subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and support us on Patreon if it is at all financially possible, because your support helps us to do a lot of great things here. So we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Oh, thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Bye.
Thanks for coming by,
Bye-bye.
Miranda.
Bye.
Join us every Monday for free script practice. You can also find the Mic Check on Facebook and Twitter. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more.
Look at this.